gentlemen, we want to welcome you back to Spa-Francorchamps here for the XRL X2 division. I'm Insanely R13, and I'm being joined in the broadcast booth today by XRL Herbie. Glad to have you here with us today, Herbie. How are you doing?
Oh, good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm well rested enough to start doing another good old XRL broadcast here at Belgium at one of the most famous tracks in the Formula One schedule. In my opinion, one of the greatest tracks in the world. I personally think Montreal is the greatest right now, but this is definitely up there. We are looking to have a field of about 20 drivers for today's race, although not everyone has officially lined up for the car that they should be in. Actually, it seems like 2 of our people may have dropped out. Yeah, but of the drivers who we do know are going to be showing up, in the Scuderia Ferrari team, it's going to be XRL Ollie and Dedger 1988. Representing the Red Bull team of Aston Martin Red Bull is XRL Fiend and XRL Zola. For the McLaren Formula One team, you have XRL Anderson and Beard Boost. Beard Boost has been on an absolute tear in this series. Then in the Renault team, it's XRL Pingu and Elfin Starfish. Within the Scuderia AlphaTauri team, it's going to be Wise Uter 85 and Sasha Andre 02. In Alfa Romeo, you're going to have XRL Ledger and CJ Allen. For Haas, it will be Calzoner and Joe Pelli. And Williams will be represented by Smoothie 25 and XRL Low. Racing Point is currently being represented by King Joffrey. We anticipate their other driver will show up sooner rather than later. And in Mercedes, XRL Hutch is going to be driving. No, Valtteri Bottas will not be driving with us. His teammate is, again, anticipated to show up sooner rather than later. We should be getting underway in a few minutes here, but it's Spa Herbie. You were in the X3 race earlier today. What do you have to say about this track going into this event?
This track is absolutely fast. It's a long track, but it's really quick on the corners. I had trouble in actual turn 18 and probably turn 17 I did. I just had my foot down. I just couldn't seem to get the grip, but it was there if I needed, but I just couldn't get it due to wet weathers. But hopefully in the X2 today we shouldn't get any wet weather because we had an absolute nightmare in it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say this, the X3 drivers did a halfway decent job. Only 3 DNFs in a field of 19 cars in a very wet race, so yeah. Gotta give them some props there. So
There is that, yeah, and hopefully X2 like last race, where X3 kind of didn't have any incidents, and X2 had loads of incidents, didn't they, if you remember? Hopefully this won't happen again. Hopefully it won't happen again.
Yeah, very chaotic X2 race last week from start to finish, involving one of our front row sitters getting knocked out in turn 1. But here we are, saying bye. I think one of the big things, as usual, we're going to want to be watching Beard Boost in the McLaren car. That driver has always been on top of it and has been fast almost every race actually I've watched from X2. He's been dominating. He's well sailing off to a potential championship early on here, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull off another victory, because running here, it's a little bit different at Spa than it is at the other super high-speed track, the other 2 super high-speed tracks that we have on the schedule, which is Monza and Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Those 2 circuits are relatively flat. There's not really a whole lot of elevation changes. In fact, at Monza, I don't really think you could say there's any elevation change whatsoever, really, outside of a little bit on the second straightaway. Here at Spa, there is so many elevation changes. You come around the very first hairpin, and on the run down to the Al Rouge Rodillion complex, you're just dropping. You get right to the bottom through Al Rouge, and you immediately have to turn the corner, and you ascend like it seems like 20 stories at once in an instant, almost completely blind. And then you're at top of the main straight, and then at the end of the straight, it's just like a kilometer and a half, it feels, of just nothing but gradual technical downhill sections. And then as you get onto the second straight, right before the start-finish line, you have a little bit of a chicane that is also uphill, really, really difficult to keep traction here. So uphill and downhill abilities, really, being able to control your car uphill and downhill is very, very important here. And it looks like we may be short a driver. We're missing our other Mercedes driver for today's race.
It's looking like that,
hopefully, I don't know if he's serving a quality/race ban or just wasn't able to make qualifying, so we'll have 19 drivers here. Q1 for X3 though, absolutely chaotic. 2 guys didn't even get a chance to run because they're serving qualifying bans. 2 drivers wrecked out, and then we had 4 other drivers get knocked out as well because of being all over on the timesheet. So we only had 13 drivers going to Q2 in there. Hopefully Q1 is a little bit more reasonable, at least when it comes to field size, going into Q2.
I was just looking through the standings for the X2, and Beard's points of 286 against CJ Allen at 129. Surely, if Beard Boost win this tonight, would he win the championship?
So you can win, if memory serves correctly, you can win a maximum of 27 points in a race weekend. 25 for winning the race, a point for fastest lap, and a point for pole. Am I correct?
Correct. It is correct, mate, yeah.
Okay, and you have 21 races in the schedule.
We have, and we've got, hang on, I'll tell you how many we've got.
This is
left.
race 13, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 8 times 27 would be 160 plus 42, so 202 points. So Beard Boost needs to walk out of here with, if Beard Boost had 202 points over second place now, he would have locked up the title. He's not there yet, though.
Right.
Let's assume he gets 25 more points here, and CJ Allen gets none. Yeah. You know what? Here, let me pull up let me set the race up, the lobby up to focus on broadcasting.
It's just that when we was on about Beer Boost dominating the series so far in X2 and the fact that he's gaining so much ground on points, just looking at it now, it just, to me, it looks like a few more races at winning first and possibly getting the fastest lap for that extra point. I think he could win the title between now or next week, or next race.
Next week I believe is Monza, and I think it's very likely if he keeps up on the path he has been going, he'll probably lock up the title by Monza. Again, the thing with having these massive points leads is that you don't have to keep winning. At this point, Beard Boost could turn down the wick a bit and just consistently finish second or third and still more than likely win the title.
Yeah.
When we say lock up the championship, we're talking a situation that he shows up and he earns no points anymore.
That's true, yeah. Well, CJ Allen's the first car, hopefully, to set a lap time. He's come the Rouge corner now. He's coming onto the Canal Straight.
Very bright and sunny out here. We should anticipate some really, really good lap times here today. What do you think we can be looking at for lap times today?
In X3, we was averaging around about 145 to 143, and that's low 143s. I didn't look into the X1 stream to see how fast they were, but I reckon you're looking at 144s to 142s. I reckon high 42s.
All right, well, we'll see this here. We definitely have drivers who can make that happen. CJ Allen being one of those drivers, being absolutely powerful in the Alfa Romeo. Short of a few wins that probably could have been his.
Yeah.
But yeah, CJ Allen, definitely one of the faster drivers in the series. Other drivers who are way out into the track, XRL Anderson, one of the other McLarens, Calzoner, who is in the Haas, and XRL Ledger. Ooh, Ledger very nearly touches the outside wall there, going through the no-name corner.
I've got a feeling that King Jeffrey may do well this time, because he did a really good race last week, if you remember rightly.
Yeah, he did have a good run. XRL Ollie has now exited the pits, and as he is in the process of exiting the pits and getting ready to get going. Joe Pelly is on the back straightaway right now.
Is CJ Allen now coming to the pit straight now to start his flying lap?
Yep, and there he goes at the line, and he'll be followed shortly after by XRL Anderson. In fact, we're just going to go ahead and be silent in the booth. Going to spin the lap on board with XRL Anderson so you can really hear what it's like to run a full lap at Spa-Francorchamps. And he's invalidated his lap. All right. Oof.
That's something you don't want to listen to.
Yeah. One of the other Haas machines, I believe that is Calzoner, who's coming around right now. He's going to be starting his flying lap in just a second here. We'll find someone else that we can run on board with. Here we are. One of the, I believe that is CJ Allen. That's Dedger. Here comes Dedger.
Oh,
we'll run on board with the Ferrari of Dedger then.
Well, I was looking at the outlaps, the stable, and it shows Beer Boost coming out on mediums. It's the only car to come out on medium. I thought he would have saved them for Q2 if he got into Q2.
I wonder what the strategy is behind that. There's not, unless he's not been able to turn very many practice laps, but still, yeah, I myself would try and save those for Q2. Even if I wasn't comfortable with them, my priority would be getting into Q2 more than figuring out how the cars handle on mediums.
CGL just posted a 143.1.
He's going to be going very shortly. Here's Wise Uter. He's gone up with a 143.5, and now we're going to have one of the McLarens coming across the line. That's going to be XRL Anderson. No, was not a legal time.
It looks like he's led,
yep.
Oh, Alex just got an embedded lap. In fact,
So here comes one of the Renaults then, and the Renault is going to be going up with an invalid time again. So another situation where it's taking a long time for the drivers to get a proper flying lap here. Saw us in Q1 for X3, and it led to a lot of chaos throughout. Hopefully we can start getting some clean laps here. Track limits seem to be kind of aggressive here. Ooh, Sasha Andre to the top, 142.3.
There you go. I said high 42. This is low 42. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and we're not even. Dedgar now goes up 142.854. We're not even we're not even the last 10 minutes of Q1, let alone close to Q3. The time, honestly, we could be seeing maybe 142 flat if things go well.
I think to be fair, I reckon we can give it to Q3. If Sasha sticks like this, he can find more pace. I can see it being a 141.
Oh, Elfin Starfish loops it around right in front of his teammate, Pingu. He did not hit anything, but he turned the car right around on the downhill run. He's merging carefully back onto the track right now. No one's right behind him at the moment. Might want to come in and change the pants. Don't think you want to be wearing brown pants for this.
I'm just watching Anderson now. Anderson's had a purple sector 1 and a green sector 2. Oh, he's got his into 143.3.
So 8 drivers have now set their times. Out comes, I believe that is Flying Wallaby. Yeah, so Flying Wallaby is navigating his outlap as he merges onto the track. I'm going to be honest, I really do not like the way this track has emerged off the pit lane onto the track. I really do not like it. You're basically...
It's not clever. It's definitely not clever, because as soon as you come around that corner, you're literally on their tail. It's not nice.
Here comes, I believe that is Zola. No, that's not Zola. That is Wise Uter. Sasha Andre. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so with Sasha Andre, he's gone ahead. He's jumped into the pits right now. Elfin Starfish has set a time of 2.08, but for Starfish, he did loop it around, so there's obviously a lot for him to gain there. Ledger, Calzona, and Flying Wallaby are all on outlaps. Joffrey and Smoothie25 have yet to leave the pits. Pingu has completed a lap, but it was not valid, so he has to go around again. And XRL Hutch, who's currently in Sector 2, is en route to setting the next fast lap of the day. He will be the 12th driver to do so in this field of 19. Oh, and Sasha Andre, he has already retired from the session. No need to continue pushing.
He's very confident.
Yeah, especially with a time like that. I can't blame him one bit.
No, very confident at that time, and I think I would be too.
So Hutch puts down a time of 144.686 as he now rounds the hairpin and does the nice long hill run down. Now Anderson has gone ahead and retired from the session. He has set a time of 143.383. He feels no need to continue pushing. One of the things, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, one of the things I really do enjoy about watching X2 qualifying, especially in Q1 to a lesser extent Q2, is that once drivers know that they have a really, really good lap, they'll go ahead, they'll drop out early, and they won't be aggressive with pushing, and it really opens up the track and lets there be a lot more clean air for the other drivers still trying to make something. Of note, though, Beard Boost on the mediums, 1:43.53. I mean 5:53. So very, very interesting there. He's been able to make that happen.
That's not a bad time really on a medium set. That's not bad at all. Calzone has just started his flying lap. His first flying lap in the race. In the qualifying session.
Flying Wallaby and XRL Ledger also are on their flying laps as well. Here comes Calzone going up the hill. Car has a little bit of rotation in the rear going up into Rodillion, but nothing that really harms the car. He's already at the 206 miles an hour, down to 207 before he jumps onto the brakes.
Ledger's just got a purple sector 2. He could get a purple sector 3, yeah.
Yeah, here comes XRL Ledger. He's coming around that high-speed bend. The only real difficult part of the track in Sector 3 is this section here, the little chicane that used to be a bus stop back in the day. Ledger comes out. DRS open and at the line. Ledger third on the timesheets, 1:43.004, and Flying Wallaby just behind him with a 1:43.199.
Cracking time.
Zola is on pace also, but it looks like he's invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to go again. For Calzoner, though, he has exited Sector 2 right now. He has a purple, well, part of Sector 2 is purple for him at least. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like he did get a full purple Sector 2, so he may be en route for a good run as well. Beard Boost is on an outlap again, but it says he's still on the medium, so I think he's still going. I think maybe he's going to try and make it into Q2 on the mediums. He might be trying to preserve as many soft tire compounds as possible for Q2 and Q3 by chance. I wonder if that's what he's doing.
I'm going to say I've not seen it. I've never seen it before where they've used softs all the way through the race. It could be a good strategy. It's something that probably not everyone's thought about.
I know in the race in the race, you're going to be mandated to run medium tire compounds at some point, obviously. But if he's going to, like, try... Because he's won a decent amount of poles, but he's definitely had some moments against Dedger, against Allen, against Joe Pelli, where it's gotten really, really tight for the pole shootout. He might be just trying to save an extra set of softs, just so that way it's not really an issue for him to go and just push hard in qualifying 3. That's my guess. That's the only reason I can think of why he'd be running mediums.
Yeah, you're probably right there, to be fair, because I couldn't think of any other way.
XRL Zola still has yet to leave the pits. I'm not sure if he's serving a qualifying ban or... Nope, Zola is just pulled out of the box and he is now on the run down the pit lane straight. So we should see him turn the lap in about 2 minutes or so. King Joffrey is on the back straightaway right now. He will be the next driver to set a lap time, as Smoothie25 and Zola are both right now on their outlaps getting ready to go. Joffrey with a purple Sector 1 right now as he will move by Smoothie. Smoothie nice enough to move out of the way for that Racing Point Force India machine.
I'm just on board with King Jeffrey, and he seems to be really good at his pace, but he's getting quite close on going over the white line. He's going to validate his lap if he doesn't carry on putting into a clean lap.
But he did it right there. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, that was coming for about 3 corners, so he's going to have to wait another lap before he can set it. And we have just a little bit over 5 minutes left in the session, but doing a lot better, doing pretty well. Thus far, at least, everyone is still on the track. Everyone is still on the track. No one's really torn up their cars yet, so little celebration there.
Don't jinx it yet.
Pingu. Yeah. Pingu has now come out of the pits. Right now, he is the slowest of all the drivers. He is approximately 1.2 seconds off of Hutch. Pingu has a lot of time that he has to pick up here. He has the time to do it. He just needs to make sure he keeps the lap clean, keep the car clean, and I think he can do it. I honestly do believe he can do it. So I will say this, if you ignore Pingu's time though, the spread from 1st to 15th on the timesheets is still really massive, almost 2.5 seconds, about 2.3 seconds from Sasha Andre at 1st to Hutch in 15th. So I have a feeling that unless things really get weird, like rain falls in Q2 or Q3, I think the drivers we see at the top right now will be the same drivers we see at the top once we get into Q2 and get into Q3.
That's very true, but I don't know if what's going to happen in the race. Is it a wet race or anything? If anyone can say anything in the chat, because I know that some of the drivers do sit and watch the stream, can you let me know if it's a wet race or the dry quality, obviously what it is now. Can you let me know?
King Joffrey, purple sector 1 again, but he really needs to make sure he keeps this lap clean. Zola and Smoothie are now putting down their hot laps as Zola has just exited the Brazilian complex and is now on that back straightaway. Again, Joffrey really wide, but he keeps it legal this time coming out of that no-name corner. This is the area of the track where he invalidated it earlier. Much smoother this time, though. Keeps it within the track limits. Not the fastest run through there, but right now it's probably a little bit more important to just get a lap time than the fastest. If you have the speed, if you have the ERS and you have the fuel, make your fastest lap the next lap. Right now, in my opinion at least, it's more important to put down a banker lap.
Exactly. Zola's doing
Smoothie
well
25
so far.
has... Smoothie 25 has just had a purple sector 2 now, so this could get really interesting. Zola, yeah, you said Zola's doing pretty well. Joffrey, of these 3 drivers, will be the first to set a time, assuming he does not invalidate it here, exiting the chicane. He does not, so King Joffrey, the 17th driver to put a time down, he will put down a time of 1:44.241. That's good enough for 14th at the moment. Now here comes Smoothie. He's going to jump up to 13th, 1:44.034. Zola will be the last driver to set a time.
I've been watching Zola, and Zola's got a purple sector 1 and 2. Hopefully he can put a purple in this sector now.
Coming across the line.
Oh, wow.
He lost a lot of time there in the chicane, just did not seem to get it done well at all. Only 1:44.449. Now he has the tires, he has the fuel, he has the time. He can do this lap and maybe one more afterwards to improve. He's going to have a lot of improvement to do. Of note, Pingu, he's out there, he's trying to improve, but he's invalidated this lap as well, so time's really not going well for Pingu. No, I do not believe he's having an engine issue. That noise is just the game being kind of iffy. Also of note, XRL Hutch is out there trying to improve, but he only is 28 thousandths up right now when he needs to be up by, I'd say closer to like 28 hundredths.
Zola's just tried to get his fastest lap again and he's just invalidated it, bless him.
Joffrey has invalidated his lap also. He's 15th right now. Also, Lowe is out on the circuit as he has exited Sector 1. He's only 45 thousandths up on his time as well. The gap between Lowe and Joffrey is about 9 hundredths. So Lowe needs to just find a few more hundredths here or there if he's going to want to make this happen. We're going to have a good shootout for the back end, and he's invalidated. Lowe has invalidated his lap.
Beer Boost has also just retired from the session. He's obviously comfortable with his lap time.
Yeah, 1:43.096 on medium tire compounds.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I'm gonna be very honest. I think even if you don't like rain, you might be praying for rain just to try and hope that will mess things up and upset Beard Boost or something. Because if you're that fast on the mediums, I'd hate to imagine what you're gonna be like on the sauce. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to catch him. This honestly looks like it's gonna be a race for second.
I do think this is going to be a full-on dry qualify. And like you say, Beer Boost, being so quick on the mediums, I reckon he won't be hesitant to get top.
Pingu has retired from the session. He is not going to be able to improve on his time. So Pingu will not advance. Right, Lowe has pulled into the pits also, so he will not advance. So now the question is, can Zola get by Joffrey? Joffrey has retired from... Joffrey has been knocked out. Fiend is now up into 15th. So it's going to be a question of, will Zola be able to go fast enough? And and I've said this before, next to I'll say it again, between the Red Bull cars, they're just so close on ability. Only one of them looks like they're going to make it into the next round. It's either going to be Fiend or Zola.
Well, Fiend's
he's invalidated.
Fiend's got a checkered flag next to his name, so I believe he's in. Oh no, is it the top 5?
Zola has invalidated his lap. So that means that Joffrey, who retires just a little bit too early, will not go on forward. Lowe will not go forward. Zola, who we're currently following, will not go forward. And Pingu will not go forward. So rough times by them all. Here's Smoothie 25. He was able to crank it up to a 1:43.451 at the end. So a very good run by Smoothie. Waited a little bit to get that really good lap, but it definitely came, so good job on his part. Yeah. It was a relatively calm qualifying Sector 1, but again, good job to everyone. And again, Beard Boost is going to be really interesting. I think he might be able to make it into Q2 on the mediums. That's the other thing. Beard Boost might try run Q2 on mediums as well, because he now knows he has the pace. He might try to start on mediums and then jump on the softs really early on, so in the race itself. It'll be interesting. Zola has retired from the session as well, so that means that the session is pretty much concluded. One of the Ferraris is still out on the circuit. I believe that is Ollie, but the driver himself is not in that car anymore, so...
No. It's looking like this is the end of Q1 now, completely. Everyone's coming to the pits.
Yep, the only one who isn't is the AI that's controlling the Ferrari right now. Can't really do anything about the AI in that case. So a relatively brief and brisk Q1, really setting the pace, I think, for the race itself. But once again, of the 19 drivers, 4 of them will not advance in the next round. That's XRL Pingu in the Renault, XRL Zola in the Red Bull, XRL Lowe in the Williams, and King Joffrey in the Racing Point.
Insane. Before I say anything, Hutch has just come up on the comments and said it is a full wet race.
Oh, well, this could be very interesting.
That is going to be a big turnaround on the start of the grid. Oh, yeah.
But that also means, though, I will say this, that also means that there's really no need to hold back when it comes to tire compounds in Q2. If everyone knows that the race is going to start on the wet, you might as well just throw on the softs, go as fast and as far as you can early on.
I believe that's what they're doing. I reckon that's what Boost thought doing through the Q2 and Q3. Keep his 3 tyres, like you said.
So a full wet weather race, it can make things very interesting. In X3, the race started under very, very wet conditions, but gradually dried up, and by the end, everyone was running the softs. But wet all the way through is going to make it very, very interesting, to say the least.
I must admit, when it came to it was lap 2 I was on, and I went to dive on the turn 1. I went to dive in. I had plenty of space. I went to dive in on turn 1 because the 2 cars in front of me was relatively quite slow. I've dived in and I couldn't brake at all. I put the brakes on and it was just sliding. And I think I tapped, is it Waldo? Was it fine Waldo? I tapped one of the Racing Points.
Waldo was one of them. Yeah, Waldo was one of them.
And that I know that's going to be a penalty to me. I will take all responsibility for that. And it's just that on that corner, it is so greasy. I would say it's greasy. Because of the wet conditions, you're sliding, you just can't control it. And I just hope the fact that this might not happen in X2.
Sashandri is the first driver out. He's on the mediums. But yeah, not to mention, not only is it kind of a slick corner in general, the profile of that turn 1 hairpin is also very, very unique. It's a hairpin, obviously, but the interior of it is kind of like recessed farther into the ground than the outer line. You can abuse the rumble strips on the inside, but you really don't want to, because if you do that, you run the risk of bogging the car down and kind of like bouncing the floor of the car off of the rumble strips. It's a very, very unique corner, and under wet circumstances, that hairpin is very difficult to set up. I was talking to XRL Azda in qualifying. Now I'm just going to ask you, how do you typically set up the profile of the car to run at spot, especially when you know the race is going to be run in wet conditions?
It's a tricky question because I've not got myself in front of me. I couldn't tell you what I've actually got. Well, all I did I lifted my car up. That's all I did, and then I can't really say much about it because I don't really have full ins and outs on the actual grade of it. But I can have a look into it by all means.
I mean, you don't need to punish yourself if you don't have her on top of you. That's fine. So, a IndyCar comparison, but I'm sure you know of the late, great Mario Andretti. Well, I shouldn't say late. He's still alive, but I'm sure you know of Mario Andretti, the 1978 Formula One World Champion. And then there's also Rick Mears, who was one of the most successful IndyCar drivers in the 80s. And I remember a story where they talked to Rick Mears after a practice session. Some interviewers were, and he was getting really in-depth talking about all the intricacies on how they had set up the car and everything. Then they did the same thing to Mario Andretti, who set a comparable time, and Mario's just kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of did it. So there are some people who it just comes it's so internal and so natural. You just have that base instinct that works very well for you.
Yeah, of course.
So
I've just clicked Tom was on about Monza is our next race after this.
Yes.
That is a week delay. We've got a week break, and then we'll all be at Monza on the 29th.
This today is the 22nd, so in a week's time we'll be at Monza then. Okay. Ooh, so I'm watching Sasha Andre on the mediums. He's relatively fast, but that rear end really seems kind of slidey on him right now.
It does twitch.
He's got a purple sector too, but yeah, that rear is definitely twitching quite a bit in the 90-degree-ish corners there in the second sector, so.
Ooh.
But he is on pace to be the driver to set the initial pace for the section at least, and it looks like Hutch has left the session. He's still in the pit lane. Hopefully he'll be able to get on track and set a lap before the time is up.
Sasha's just coming in now, insane. He's going to get a 1:43.0. That is a good time on mediums. Oh wow, and that's
142.2 on the softs. That's beard boost.
Wow.
Something's wrong with Elfin Starfish. He's come across the line, but he's came across it very slow. He's only put a 149.587, and he's just coasting down the front stretch right now.
Oh.
He's moving aside so that way the McLaren of Anderson can get through instead of time. Anderson also with a relatively slow time, 147.120.
I'm looking at his car now, and he doesn't seem to have any damage on his wing, so he's got no issues there. I think he's just trying to gain some space, because obviously you don't want to mess up anyone as well.
Well off the circuit right now in the Al Rouge Rodillion complex. No one around him at the moment. That's Joe Pelli, not Joe Pelli, that is Calzona has gotten by him. Joe Pelli has crossed the line. He has completed a lap, but it was not a valid lap, so he has to go around again before he can actually set a time. Uter, Hutch, Smoothie, CJ Allen, and Dedgar are the drivers who have yet to exit the pits. This is XRL Ledger, who is on the run downhill, and now he's going to enter the series of right, lefts. I really like these corners here. I'm not generally a fan of just right-hand turn, left-hand turn, right-hand turn, left-hand turn track design, but I really like how Spa pulls it off because they're very nice and flowy, and the space between them is just long enough that you can really let the car kind of like restabilize itself, but still have the momentum. So
it's definitely Spa's definitely a unique track in it. It's something that everyone does enjoy, and it is very quick. But no one likes it in the wet, trust me. I don't.
Five drivers. Oh, and Ledger has now set his time, 143.626. So a respectable time. Not quite as good as Sasha's 143 flat on mediums. And Anderson now has gone up to third. So Anderson 143.525. Uter is now beginning his outlap. Now Calzoner up to third, 143.415.
I'm just on board with Joe Pelli. It's the next car to put in a lap time in. It's not valid. Into the last chicanes now.
Very difficult to maintain proper traction out of that chicane, but he's made it work. 143.111 for Joe Pelli. So the Haas drivers for now have very comparable times.
I could see either the McLarens and the Haas cars being quite competitive in the race. I think they're going to be it's going to be always them at it, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yep. No, I know exactly what you mean. Another one to look at right now is XRL Ollie. He is on the run down to the final chicane right now.
Yeah. Coming
out of it, and he will be our 9th driver to set a time today in Q2 at the line. It's good enough for 143.773. His teammate Dedgar, he's on the medium tire compounds, and he is now beginning his flying lap. There's also Wise Uter, who is currently, he has invalidated his session. Beard Boost has retired from the session, I'm sorry, but Uter has invalidated his lap, and Beard Boost retires from the session. So really, he's being very conservative with the tires, so
yes.
On the behalf of Planet Earth, I say thank you for reducing the waste. Ledger has now retired from the session as well.
I'm not. Odd. Oh, Starfish now's coming through. Oh, he's got a lot of spin there. 143.8. He doesn't seem to improve his time much.
No, it seems like it's just not coming together right now for those Renaults. His teammate was not able to make it into Q2. And right now, although Elfin Starfish has a time, it's the slowest of everyone on the sheets at the moment.
Potty's just leaving the pits now.
Here he is, run downhill.
I believe it's Edgar that's going to be the next guy.
He's got purple sector 2, 115.322 at the end of that second sector. It's all flat out through here. There is a left-hand corner that you basically go flat out on. Even in the wet, you can go flat out there if you're careful.
Oh, God.
So this is the only difficult part. The challenging part here is this chicane. Don't invalidate it, don't invalidate it. Very smooth, not too much wheel spin coming out of it. So at the line, Dedgar 1988 on the medium tire compounds, it's good enough for 10th, 143.919.
Let's hope it sticks in, and so the Ferrari's in the top 10 for the next qualifying session.
XRL Fiend, he's on an outlap, and Starfish is just a little bit ahead of him, although I don't think Starfish is going to have a... It says Starfish, the little fuel thing is flashing and his lap's invalid anyway, so hopefully he'll pull over for Fiend, so that way either he's farther ahead enough of Fiend so Fiend doesn't end up getting any aerodynamic wake from him, or he ends up pulling over so that way Fiend doesn't have to worry about it. Smoothie25 will be the next driver to cross the line, I believe.
It is looking that way.
He has a purple sector too. I do question a little bit XRL Ledger's decision to retire so early in the session when you still have 5 drivers who haven't set a time yet. I can understand why, but I don't know if I'd feel very confident about that.
He's obviously
especially when you also have...
I was just going to say, he's obviously got a look on to which driver he knows is going to be faster than him and that's not going to be faster. I believe it'll be Hutch that'll be under 10, under 10th position, so you'll know that the rest of them will then drop him down to at least 10th position, I believe, so at least he's in.
Smoothie25 has set a time good enough for 4th, 143.202.
I'm going to keep an eye on Legend, see how far down it goes, if it was a right decision or not.
Dedgar's jumped into the pits, and I wonder if he's going to go ahead and ban the mediums, jump onto the softs. If he does that, he's going to have to do it fast, but there's definitely some time for him to pick up if he was to make that decision. Hutch, Wise Uter is still in the pits. He has not set a lap yet. Well, not a flying lap yet. He has apparently turned a lap, but not anything that was legal. Hutch is on the track, Fiend is on the track, and CJ Allen is in the middle of an outlap right now as he is entering that final chicane right now. Fiend will be the first one to come across the line as he is exiting Sector 2 right now. 115.4. And then Hutch is just a little bit behind him. So it'll be interesting to see what can happen between these two. That's Smoothie25 who's brought out the yellow in Sector 2. He's just blowing it down, not pushing too hard at the moment.
Hutch is now coming through turn 18 and approaching 19-20.
And Fiend is exiting that final chicane. He's got the DRS open, and at the line, Fiend will set down a time, 143.848, so he's in for now. Hutch, though,
6th.
143.491. Ledger's kicked down to 8th, and Fiend is now back out again of the reasonable time sheets. Now, here's the thing, the gap, and Wallaby is on an outlap right now. The gap between Wallaby and Ledger is about 800ths. The gap between Ollie, who is 10th on the sheets, and Ledger is 1500ths, and then the gap between Fiend and Ledger is another, it's about 2200ths. So it's going to be close. If Ledger makes this work, it's going to be the gamble of the century. And again, Uter and Allen still have yet to set their time. But again, Allen, he's on the medium tire compounds. It's too late. He can't go to the soft, so I'm really wondering what's going on there. He has a purple sector too, though. Wise Uter on an outlap. He'll probably only get 1, maybe 2 outright flying laps. I think he's only going to get 1, honestly.
I wonder.
CJ Allen.
I was going to say, I wonder if any of these drivers with it being a dry quali, I've actually put a dry setup on, not thinking about the wet conditions in the race. That
That's
can affect the
possible.
race.
CJ Allen, that's possible. CJ Allen up to 143.768. That's good enough for 10th at the moment. But again, Ollie, Dedger, and Uter all are on outlaps getting ready to set times. And then Starfish is still out there trying to improve. Fiend is still out there trying to improve. Allen and Wallaby are all out there trying to improve. Uter has now crossed the line. He's going to be the last driver to set time. It's going to be really late for him as well. Ledger has now been kicked down to 9th. So Fiend is now within the...
Who's this?
Yeah, it's going to be...
Sorry, just some random person's just joined our lobby, that's all.
Sensei D Senpai. Okay, so anyways, the next driver who will come across the line, that's Anderson. Anderson's invalidated his lap, so it's not, we don't really need to worry about him, so I think it's going to be Ollie. Ollie, he's on an outlap though, so when he crosses the line, it's not going to matter. So really, we need to be watching Flying Wallaby here. He is 7 tenths up, it's saying right now. So Wallaby may be in a position to move way up the order here. As he's going into the final chicane, don't invalidate it, please be careful. He comes really close to invalidating it, but it's still legal at the line. Second, 142.644. That was a lot of time gain, and Ledger is now on the bubble of getting knocked out.
It's down to Wise now. Mr. Wise.
Starfish, he's out!
Oh,
Ledger
no.
got kicked out. Starfish goes up to 4th.
Wow.
And Ledger will not advance into the next round. It was a gambit that did not pay off for Ledger. Smoothies retired from the session. And we're over. Our time is up here. Here comes Wise Uter. He's only setting 1 lap. He's better hope it's a good lap as well. At the line, Uter.
Wow, 3rd.
142.976, saving the best for last, obviously. Dedger has invalidated his lap, so he will automatically not advance to the next round.
I was just watching Wise, and he didn't have a cleanish lap. He did actually go wide on some sections, but didn't invalidate it. So it would have been even faster.
Whew. This is going to get really interesting. Here's Ollie. He's on the run through the latter half of Sector 2. CJ Allen is going down, starting the run downhill as well, so both of these drivers trying to improve their way out. Fiend has abandoned his attempt, so he is not going to be able to improve. So right now, Anderson is on the bubble. Anderson's out on the track, but his lap is invalid, so it's going to come down to can CJ Allen or Ollie knock out Anderson to get into the top 10 and make it into Q3.
To be honest, there's a name down there in 15th, Mr. Dedger. I thought he might have been quick. Today, he was quick in last session.
I do wonder, though, if... Oh, and there it is! Anderson's been knocked out by Ollie. But yeah, I wonder if Dedger might still have a rain setup on, and he's just turning the laps because he has to, so...
Possible. Could be possible.
And CJ Allen has invalidated his time, so the order you see right now is the order we are going to have in today's race. So Dedger 1988, CJ Allen, XRL Ledger, XRL Fiend, and XRL Anderson are all the drivers, who will not advance in the next section. So of the... Yes, so of the 6... Yeah, I'm choking on my own words quite literally here, apparently. Of the 6 Ferrari-powered cars, half of them get knocked out in this session. And the only ones who don't, we have one factory Ferrari, that's Ollie, and then Joe Pelli and Calzoner in the Haas's will be able to continue. But everyone's basically ended their session for the most part. So, once again, a really, really quick run through Q2, relatively low-key. Now, even though we had some drivers who didn't set their time until very late, it was still relatively relaxed. I don't really think anyone's like really pushing too aggressively here. They know that if they just have a good setup, good strategy, and avoid chaos in the first 3-4 laps, they could have a good race going forward them.
Good, yeah. Well, there's your grid for Q2. You've got Beer Boots on top, with Flying Wallaby following behind, with Wise, Sasha, Mr. Starfish, Joe Pelli, Smooth, Calzona, Hutch, and Ollie all in the top 10.
Yep. But also, thumbs up to the AlphaTauris. Both AlphaTauris make it in the next round very close to each other on time. It looks like AlphaTauri and Haas are actually the only teams that got both of their cars in Q3.
Oh, that's true,
so
yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so
we could expect an AlphaTauri 1-2 then, if that's the case.
I don't see anybody named Beard Boost or Flying Wallaby in an AlphaTauri, though, so I don't know how confident I feel in that. I will say that CJ Allen not making it into Q3 is really, really unexpected, though. I honestly thought he would have made it into Q3.
Well, Hutch has commented on the chat saying he's quite a few I wasn't expecting to get knocked out. So he hasn't been knocked out, though.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Q3, 10 drivers. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be a Beard Boost pull again. I don't think anyone has anything for him when it comes to single car pace around here thus far. Considering he was top 5 in times on the medium tire compounds and blew everyone away on the softs in Q2, I think Beard Boost is easily gonna get. In fact, I think he feels the same way because it looks like he's gonna try and be the first guy out into the racetrack here.
It's Sasha. Sasha's first one out.
No, Beard Boost is already out. Beard Boost is already on the run down.
Yeah. Looking at Sasha's thing. Of course he is, yeah. He'll want to try and get out of the way and done with it, and he can just sit and watch.
Mm-hmm.
So with it being wet weather in the race, I wonder how many people will have incidents on the Rouge uplift.
You make a good point. Another thing is we don't know how extreme the race is going to be. The rain is going to be throughout the race. It could start out relatively light and then get really heavy, or vice versa. So the decision on what the proper tire compounds to start on is going to be very important as well. You were in the X3 race. How long can you make the intermediates and full wet tire compounds last around here?
When I was in the race, I was averaging around about 13 laps. It came up on the strategy about 13 laps, and it did feel right. But then obviously we changed weather quite quickly, and we had I think we had about 6 laps on the softs. And that didn't dry that quick, but it did come across quite quickly, and it did help out for the drivers that were at the back struggling. But yeah, I'd say 13 laps to get out of it on intermediates. But wet, if it's going to be a full wet race, we're talking 15, 16 laps. I reckon they'll get out of it with the way of going around the corners at high speed.
So probably a single stop race then, if it's wet all the way through.
Yeah,
which it seems to be. So.
Yeah, we on our strategies we had a single stop race.
Mm-hmm.
But as you saw in X3, you can't deny on when the weather's going to change. All of a sudden we was on full wet, and we had a few incidents on the intermediates, and then went straight on to softs. So it does change quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I wish I remember who it was. One of our drivers actually in X3 stayed out a lap too long on the full wets and ended up locking up, trying to make the final chicane so he could get into the pits. He completely locked up. The game penalized him 10 seconds for, quote, corner cutting, and he had to not only suffer a 10-second penalty, he had to go another lap around on completely dead, full wet tires.
Oh, yeah,
and that really hurt his race.
I saw that.
I don't remember who that was, but yeah. Beard Boost is now exiting Sector 2 right now. He had a purple Sector 1, a purple Sector 2. He's definitely trying to set the really nice quick lap early on so he doesn't have to worry about it later. Everyone except for Wise Uter is either on an out lap or is on their flying lap right now. So Uter once again just waiting a bit.
A Beard Boost has just received a purple Sector. I never written a lap time down, but it's got a purple Sector so far.
This is going to be an amazing lap time from Beard Boost. 142.141. Absolutely incredible. 142 flat. I'm just saying, that could absolutely happen if Beard Boost really feels the need to push harder. Again, Sasha, Andre, and Wise Uter may have... Joe Pelli also. Everyone second, third, and fourth on that little list there all have the ability, I think, to potentially make something even faster happen. So Sasha Andre is now coming to the pits. He's not even completed a full lap. And now Uter is beginning his outlap. Meanwhile, Joe Pelli, he's exit Sector 2. He has a purple Sector 2 right now. But ahead of him...
Even Ollie's come back in.
Elvin Starfish has invalidated his lap. Calzoner is going to be one of the next drivers to cross the line. So at the line, Calzoner will put up a time, 143.175, almost a full second off of Beard Boost. Joe Pelli, 142.785. I absolutely believe Joe Pelli can get faster than that.
I wonder now with the both hazards of now the hazards are near enough side by side with each other, getting quite close. Surely he'll help his teammate try and get a better time.
I would at least go for it. So granted, it's very easy for that strategy to go crazy, but I would go for it at least. Elfin Starfish has a purple Sector 1. And Smoothie 25, he's going to come across the line. He'll be a fourth driver set of time. It's good enough for third on the timesheets, 142.961 at the moment. Hutch has invalidated his lap as he has run really wide. And Elephant Starfish has invalidated his lap as well. So right now, only 4 drivers have set times. Ollie and Flying Wallaby both in the pits. Beard Boost already in the pits as well, and honestly, I think Beard Boost, he's not going to retire. He may have 6/10 on his side, but with Joe Pelli, with Sasha Andre, with Wise Uter there, that time could go away fast. He may just be standing by, ready to go out there and tear out one faster flying, or not an actual word, more flying lap just to try and maintain a pole position.
I could see, if Beard Boost doesn't retire, I could see him sitting there thinking, I might be able to get a 41 out of this. I could see him doing it.
You always run into an issue of the law of diminishing returns, where the more and more effort you put in, the less and less result you get, though. So hopefully he doesn't overthink it and end up taxing himself too far. Uter is one of only 3 cars still on the track right now, it appears. Sasha Andre is out on the track as well, as he's preparing to go for a flying lap here. And then Smoothie 25 is out there as well, but the fuel light is flashing, and he's already 15 seconds down, so I think he's probably going to go ahead and pit sooner rather than later. So we only have the 2 AlphaTauris out there. Uter has a purple Sector 2 right now.
I'm just watching User now, and Wise Uter, and his rear end is still twitching from last time in Q2. Bit of a lock up there on the screens, coming up to the pit straight now. Hopefully
the twitchiness of the rear end doesn't end up harming him in the race itself. Uter is the 5th driver to set a time with a 143 flat. Well, not actually flat, but it's about as close to flat as you can get without trying. Starfish skirts the rear tires coming out of the pits as he has regained another outlap. We have about 4 minutes left in our final qualifying session for X2 at Spa.
Still 5 drivers to put a time in. We've only 3.5 minutes left to go.
And Sasha Andre will be the next one. He's got a purple Sector 2, but the fuel light is flashing on that car. So this is probably going to be it. This is going to be all the chance he gets. Because with 3.5 minutes left in the session, he's not going to be able to do another flying lap afterwards. He's going to have to coast all the way around the track, maintain fuel. So he better hope this is a really, really good lap and doesn't invalidate here in the last corner. Nope, it's still green.
Thought he did then, but no, he's got it. 141.
Ooh! 141.776. There you are.
Wow.
All right. How soon until Beard Boost leaves the pits now?
Whoa, Sasha, what did you do then? Sasha just crashed on turn 1.
And that completely destroys the nose of the car.
Sasha did the lap.
Away.
And I say Sasha did the lap, and I was watching, and all of a sudden he just put full throttle on, and he just carried on going into the wall. And I was thought he might have retired. Oh God! Thank God for that. He didn't break his car. Oh, he must be signed in. I've signed out.
Beard Boost is now entered the circuit once more. Hutch, Ollie, and Starfish are all in the pits. I don't know if those three guys are going to have time to set a lap. Weiser is now in the pits as he's coming in to a stop. Ollie is beginning his run out, but it's going to be really close for Ollie. I don't know if he's going to be able to set a time. Starfish and Hutch have not set times, and they're not even on the way out yet.
Insane.
Flying Wallaby, he's on an out lap. Hello.
I'm just sorry to bother you. Sorry to put in, but there's been about 4 or 5 drivers that's left the session, including myself. There may be a glitch on the system.
Yeah, there may be significant connectivity issues, and Wallaby invalidates his lap. So significant connectivity issues. Wallaby is not going to be able to set a lap in this session, I don't think. He's invalidated the lap coming around the final corner, and that means his next lap is automatically invalidated also. So he's going to have to breeze as fast as he can through this lap as possible, just so he gets a last-second attempt to set a time. Hutch and Starfish, I believe they both may have lagged out, and they're not going to be able to set a time. Ollie, on the run down, he will be able to set a time, but he's only going to have 1 lap to do it. This is going to get really, really nutty here.
I think Flying Wallaby will be really close to getting into another lap.
Yeah, Wallaby, it's just everything went wrong for him at the last moment, invalidated it, and he's left the session, apparently.
He needs to try and come back in quick as he can. I'm back in, by the way.
So now,
I'm back in.
Okay, congratulations. I was doing a WSRL Cup race for NASCAR broadcasting yesterday, and they were having similar issues, so it's always rough to see this happen twice at a time. So Ollie comes out of the final corner. It's still green. What will he set his time on next lap? Because he has now begained his flyer.
Well,
Calzoner has left the session now.
It's looking like Hutch, Starfish, and Flying Wallaby ain't going to be able to put a lap in at all.
Beard Boost has invalidated his lap, so Sasha Andre will be your pole sitter.
Quite bizarre.
Unless Ollie can pull... Yeah, unless Ollie can pull out a monster lap, yeah. So, impressive. I honestly thought we'd see Beard Boost go out there and make a massive improvement. Smoothie is now retired from the session as well. But yeah, 3 drivers due to connectivity issues, 3 different drivers not able to set a single lap time whatsoever in Q3. And that's gotta hurt. Alright, so, real quick question. I'm guessing that those 3 drivers, Hutch, Starfish, and Wallaby, will have their times set then based on their times in Q2?
I would believe so, yes. It will,
okay.
It'll automatically sort itself out when it finishes the end of this.
Okay. Also of note, Joe Pelli is still out there. He's still turning a lap. He might be able to go for a pole. He's got a purple sector too. He'd have to pick up like a full second to beat Sasha Andre. Actually, a little bit more than a second, like a second and 100th. But, he's going for it. He's trying. Here comes Joe Pelli through those last 2 corners. DRS open and at the line. Nope, 142.718, so not a significant improvement. Basically not an improvement at all. Ollie comes around the final corners. He will set a time, so he's guaranteed 7th at least.
Oh, 4th.
4th. 142.905. And that's it. That will be the conclusion of our session.
Only Sasha that can hit a 141.
Absolutely outstanding job by Sasha Andre, stealing that pole, and then Beard Boost tried to go out and chase it, but ended up invalidating his lap. But only 7 drivers setting a time. Sasha Andre in the AlphaTauri, Beard Boost in the McLaren, Joe Pelli in the Haas, Ollie in the Ferrari, Smoothie in the Williams, Weiser, AlphaTauri, Calzoner in the Haas, and AlphaTauri is the only team to get qualifiers in the top 6. They were the only team to get both their cars turning lap. No, Haas did also, but Yeah, the AlphaTauri team really seems to have their stuff together as a unit right now.
They've got it organised, haven't they? They've definitely got it organised for this race.
Here's hoping they can keep it organized during the organized chaos that's going to be this race itself in the rain.
I feel sorry for Wallaby, though, because Wallaby was doing so well. And he could have just got in for his flying lap before the time finished, and I would have thought he would have come into at least the top 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He definitely had a good lap. That he was definitely setting himself up for a really, really good lap. The fact that it all went south is absolutely rough.
By looking at the weather here on the loading screen, I would say that's pretty intermediate weather. No, I wouldn't say it's full wet. I could be wrong because it doesn't look as bad as what intermediate is. Right, Bob. Just looking on the system now on when the race will start. I ain't got a clue. It doesn't say. Can't seem to find it. It's normally about 5 minutes from the end of qualifying, so I'd say probably roughly around about 21:04. We'll be going away with the start of the race.
Yep. I'll be following the very back of the field when we get underway here, mainly because if something happens going through the first few corners, I do want to try and catch it. Of note, in the X3 race, both of the Haas drivers ended up in instance going through the first 4 corners, and one of them, at least, Hubert, was able to come back to a 5th place finish, but that really kind of set the tone for the extreme wet parts. There's a lot of small single car instance and virtual safety cars, so...
Did you? I saw on the stream Snake's incident. Did you see that? Jesus.
Yep.
On turn 18, it was. That was crazy.
Yeah. There was. I honestly thought we would have had more instances in 18. The fact that we didn't is kind of shocking in my mind, at least. But
it is. I don't know. It's just that it seemed to me that he rejoined the. He went wide and he rejoined the track very, very strong. He shouldn't have come in that quick. He should at least slowly come in towards where the chicane started, but not that soon. Because he, like you saw there on the actual stream, and well, obviously in the action, he took out a driver, and that driver had to go put a new wing on. Didn't he? He didn't retire, did he? He didn't. And he didn't lose a wheel or anything. He just got wing damage, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he just had significant front wing damage, but he was able to bring it back into the pits and get back underway.
Yeah.
And it was a battle for points-paying positions also, so that really, really put a little bit of a kink in the way the race was going for a lot of the people in the midfield. Positive kink, but still a kink nonetheless.
It sure did. Wallabies left the session.
Yeah, it's looking like connectivity being a significant issue here. Also, apparently 17 different people are watching, so just want to say... hello all, I think this is the most I've ever seen during a X2 race where I end up broadcasting, so hey all, glad to be here. Just staying by right now, preparing to get underway for a 50% length race here in X2, and now Sasha Andre has been kicked from the session as well.
They've all realised that X2 is under wet weather. They want to see the action because of last week's race. They think it's going to happen again.
If it's gonna, I won't lie. I think it absolutely could happen. Hopefully, we don't have a 1998 style start here, though. I can only imagine what the chaos would be if that happened. Gosh, that would be a horrible race. Imagine if we lost 11 cars right at the start. Ugh.
It could happen. It's happened. It could happen, but I very much doubt it.
Yeah. When I was doing X3 at Monaco, they lost 5 cars at the start of their race, and caught the pace car up in it as well. So
yeah. So I'm gonna put down beer boost. I'm gonna say beer boost. King Jeffrey could get up to the top 3, I reckon, and I would say Mr. Allen, I reckon, could be in the top 3.
I'm going to say Allen will get to the top 5, but not the top 3. Same thing with Flying Wallaby. I think that it's going to be Beard Boost winning, Joe Pelly second, and Sasha Andre third.
I
could be wrong. I 100% could be wrong.
Well, the time is up. All the ticks are coming up. The lights are on. We're on the first red, second red, third, fourth, 5 reds. And 5 reds around.
As lights out and away we go here at Spa de Francorchamps.
Oh, look at it now. Nothing so far. We've got Penguin going really wide on the corner.
One of the Williams has lost one of the front wings. I think that's XRL low. Joffrey is up in the 15th position. Wallaby has fallen to 14th. This is going to be a mess going uphill. Dedger is right there side by side flying Wallaby. Wallaby, both of the racing points are going to go and run wide, but they're able to maintain ability, and it looks like everyone is going to be able to get through the Al Rouge and Redillion without too much of an issue.
Wow, first time I've ever seen it so clean up the Rouge corner. That's very good. Oh, Mercedes there. Was it Hutch with a bit of a twitch there? It's allowed the end. Oh, there's contact there between the Anderson and Starfish.
Oh, and that's one of the AlphaTauris!
Whoa, big contact.
And there's a massive pile up there. 4, 5, 6 cars. Both of the Renaults. We have Racing Points involved. We have Williams involved. Alfa Romeos involved. Red Bulls. Just about everyone that you can think of is caught up. But the good-ish news is that we have a virtual safety car, and everyone who is involved is able to continue.
Jesus, that's even the 2 Renaults that have gone really down into 18th and 15th, including Joffrey in the Racing Point. It's gone down to 14th. Zolan's Ledger are not going to be happy with that, getting put into 16th, 17th.
Smoothie 25 plummets all the way to dead last, though, 19th position.
Jesus.
Also of note, we didn't even complete a whole lap. Beard Boost gap over Sasha Andre was apparently 2.6 seconds. So,
wow.
All right, we're back under green already, and Calzoner has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. That's going to take him out of the 8th place position here. There's a little bit of a battle here. Lowe and Pingu going at it. But Pingu still has a damaged front wing. He's going to have to pit, so it might not be the greatest idea to try doing battle right now.
By users now looking up the inside of Ledger, that's on the outside of him. Well, they both go wide on turn 18. Came in 1920. Where's Ledger gone? It's there.
Ledger is coming in the pits right now. There's nothing left on that front wing outside the absolute minimum required. The gap between first and second, 4 seconds already. But look at Anderson. Anderson has caught his way up into third. I think the McLarens are very well dialed in. He's right behind Gil Pelli. It's McLaren versus Haas here. And Sasha Andre is there. He wants to capitalize on it. We're going to be looking at a 3-way, maybe 5-way battle for a second position. They're already neck and neck. Here comes Ollie. They're all over each other right now. Anderson, Joe Pelli, neck and neck, and Anderson is going to go up into the second spot.
Can Anderson now keep it in there for the McLarens with the top 3 being first and second?
Ollie's making a dive on Sasha Andre. He's going to make it work. In fact, Sasha Andre runs extremely wide. He's going to lose 2, maybe even 3 positions. He's going to plummet all the way down to 7th. So our pole sitter losing track time very quickly. Smoothie has made it interesting too. He's going to swap into the wet tire compounds. So that'll be interesting to keep note of as we go forward here.
He'll lose a lot of time with the wets, I think.
He might be anticipating, though, that the rain may pick up even harder. I don't know how comfortable I'd be with making that decision, but, I mean, sometimes you have to go ahead and make something risky. He is dead last anyway, so you can't be worse than 19th in a 19-car field.
There is
unless you want to start getting, like, a race or qualifying wins, I guess. But I'm not trying to jinx it either. Please don't say I'm jinxing it. Flying Wallaby has caught Dedger here, going through Sector 3. And Flying Wallaby is trying to see if he can find a way around that Ferrari. Both of them going to run really, really wide through there. For a moment, Dedger has it over Wallaby. And CJ Allen has worked his way up into 6th. He's right behind Hutch at the moment.
And I say I've just seen, CJ Allen get knocked by Sasha behind.
I don't see any damage to Sasha's front wing, so for now, nothing significant. 5-second gap between Beard Boost and Anderson right now. And Dedger has gone ahead, jumped into the pits to repair front wing damage.
You got Ollie now coming down with DRS against Joe Pelly. It's not quite there yet so far. This has worked really well for McLaren's in 1st and 2nd so far.
Way farther back in the field, Ledger and Pingu are still there racing with each other for a 15th and 16th position at the moment after they had to repair damage to their cars. But yeah, the McLarens, like you said, already pulling out a massive gap over everyone else. It's basically the McLarens and then everyone else trying to make something happen here today. And Pingu has gotten ahead of Ledger for the moment on that backstretch. Now they're going to begin that run downhill. Flying Wallaby is apparently disconnected again. Now the thing with Flying Wallaby is that he's got Elf and Starfish behind him, so they need to make something happen. Here we go. Ledger is going to make the crossover on Pingu, neck and neck. As they start the run downhill, Ledger has that inside line advantage. He's going to stick with it and will move back ahead. Now the Renault's looking on the inside. He's going to try and make something happen.
I wonder if Starfish now knows with Wallaby going in left session. I wonder if Starfish is going to try and take the opportunity to overtake him.
He's making a look for it. He made contact! He hit him! He hit him right in the rear, and that's going to damage the front wing of that car. He's going to have no choice but to pit.
Jesus Christ. What was he thinking? He must have lost traction.
I think he saw the move. It looked like the AI in Flying Wallaby's car started really erratically shifting and moving under braking. I don't know if the AI couldn't figure out how to get the line set up right or what, but that car was moving erratically from what I saw, and Starfish didn't have time to react. Calzoner is now fighting with Wise Uter on the run down to Al Rouge and Bradilian. Uter is going to fall in line ahead of Calzoner for the moment. No DRS in the range, just keep that in mind. So although Calzoner is right there within DRS striking zone, you can't really make anything of that right now, just not possible.
There, the DRS is not enabled, but we do still have the ERS to help them to overtake the vehicle.
Elfin Starfish has a 3-second time penalty. He's just a little bit ahead of Low for the moment. And Smoothie, 25, he's coming into the pits again. I think that gamble on the wet weather tires has really paid off in no good way.
It's looking like Hussey's starting to pull away from CJ Allen, so it's only going to be a battle for 6th position between Allen and Sasha so far.
And Sasha Andre made a little bit of a misstep and lost a lot of time. And fell all the way from about 3rd to 7th. Now he's trying desperately to make that time up. And then Ollie is actually right there behind Joe Pelly as well, so a battle may be going on very shortly here for the podium positions. I honestly feel a little bit bad underestimating Anderson. Both of the McLaren cars really have their stuff dialed in today. I'm honestly impressed.
Yeah, it's
Beard was
really
fastest lap, 157.
I wonder if Ollie now is going to do a dive bomb here, but no, he's not. Thank God for that. He just seemed like he had more pace than Joe Pelly then, and I just thought he might have dived in.
Oh, here comes Ollie. He's got a lot more pace now. They're going to be neck and neck down the straight for the final podium position. 2 Ferrari-powered engines. He's going to eke ahead, but they're going to make contact, and Joe Pelly gets knocked just a little bit off the racing line. He's going to have to fall back to 4th. Here comes Sasha Andre. He's making a move to the inside of Hutch, neck and neck, and this time it's Hutch who's caught on the outside. Sasha Andre might be able to make it stick. It's going to be a drag race down to the no-name corner. A little bit of contact.
That's what he had in there.
Sasha made it stick, though.
Just. I feel sorry for Wallaby because Wallaby's gone down to 10th now and he doesn't think he's back yet. Even Ledge is left. Ledge has left the session.
Calzoner trying to run down Wise Uter again. Again, Uter one of 2 drivers thus far who has a time penalty. And CJ Allen now has left the session. And of note, CJ Allen's 5th on the time sheet. He's got Sasha Andre right behind him.
Oh,
so Andre's going to have to try. Yep, he's going to do it now. The sooner he makes this move, the better. They don't want to be side-by-side going through turn 18. They're going to be side-by-side going through turn 18.
Great move there.
Sasha Andre. Good job, Sasha.
Anderson posting the fastest lap time so far at 1:57.2.
And CJ Allen has front wing damage, so the AI will bring that car into the pits now.
Ledger is joined. Hopefully Ledger can get back in control of that car and get some points back for the AlphaTauris.
He's currently caught behind, no, he currently has Pingu right behind him, and he's 10 seconds off of low right now, so I'm not so sure if Ledger's going to have too much luck with that. Fiend and Starfish are in a little bit of a battle for 12th and 13th, and now CJ Allen has rejoined. So this little battle here for 12th and 13th position, or 11th and 12th.
Ledger and Pingu have had a bit of a touch there coming into the chicanes. Pingu now swimming
Ledger, yeah, Ledger lagged through Pingu for a brief moment, but now it's going to be a drag race down the straight. Looks like Pingu's going to think better of it. No, he's not. He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it.
Oh,
they're still side by side.
Ledger's lost a lot of traction there. Oh, he's come back at it though.
Yeah, that Alfa Romeo seems to be a little bit better set up for a short distance acceleration, but he ran a little, he cut the inside there.
That is an absolute fantastic move there from Pingu.
Oh, this battle ain't over yet. Now Ledger's coming back to the inside.
Ledger can stick it in, yeah, he's stuck it in well.
So Ledger goes back ahead of Pingu for the moment. Way farther up the track, another battle is forming between Calzoner and Wise Uter. Again, Calzoner coming up on Uter, trying to make something happen here. And then there's another one. Sasha Andre is starting to run down Joe Pelli. So Andre is trying to regain the positions he lost earlier. Gain the positions he lost earlier.
Oh, looks like we've got Degger and Flying Wallaby now. Oh wow, a big bit of a glitch there. He jumped in front of him. Degger's now in front of Wallaby.
I don't think Wallaby's going to take very well to that. We might see him sending it. Here he is. He's sending it into the chicane. Contact. He made it stick. Degger's trying to make the crossover happen. A little bit of wing to tire contact, but Wallaby is back ahead. That's Starfish back there also ready to capitalize if something goes wrong there.
I was just going to say that from Wallaby was quite a dangerous dive to be fair, but he got it to stick and it's got him to position so far.
Sasha Andre has already gotten by Joe Pelli on the backstretch to move Sasha Andre back into the 4th position. Now the question is he going to be able to run down our 3rd place driver, XRL Ollie?
Everyone seems to be quite evenly spread, don't they?
Yep, for the moment at least. Uter and Calzona are still pretty much on top of each other. And then Wallaby, Dedger are pretty close to each other still as well. With Elf and Starfish. Yeah, as is CJ Allen. Dedger now has a time penalty for track violations.
That corner there that we're all on there with Dedger and Starfish and that is one tricky corner to try and get right. Or she would go wide and you get a penalty straight away as soon as you come to the corner.
Wallaby's in a decent position right now. He can just be moderately defensive, and by default, he'll hold the position over Dedger and Starfish. because Deadger and Starfish both have time penalties. CJ Allen doesn't, but obviously there's 2 cars between Allen and Wallaby. So yeah, Wallaby just needs to play a nice, solid defensive battle, and he should be able to hold on to that spot. Uter going to the outside of Calzone, coming out of the final chicane. They're going to be, well, they were going to be drag racing down the straight, but the Haas has much, much better acceleration going down that straight.
Wallaby's gone wide on the chicanes. Deadger's just overtook. Wallaby's skidding now. Starfish is also overtook Wallaby. Coming to the pit straight now.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Sorry for giving you a commentator's curse there.
Seems like Starfish is pulling away quite a lot from Wallaby, to be fair.
Yeah, Starfish has got the draft off of the Ferrari and Deadger up ahead. He's going to try and utilize that as far as he can. Wallaby's sticking with Starfish for the moment. Just for the moment. I don't know how long he's going to be able to stay there. This is the most active battle on the circuit right now. And Anderson, who's second on the grid, Anderson has now left the session. Now, he does have 6 seconds over Ollie, but hopefully he can get back sooner rather than later so he doesn't lose too much of that time.
Fingers crossed he can get back in time, like you say.
Ooh, Allen really... I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
No.
Allen got really sideways, really kicked the rear of that car out there for the no-name corner.
Starfish,
back in the way, but...
Starfish just got a 3-second penalty again.
Anderson's back. But he lost about 2 seconds in that time that he didn't have control of that car, so... Ledger now has a time penalty. CJ Allen's caught flying Wallaby. I think he's going to be setting himself up to make something happen going down the backstretch this upcoming lap. No, he's doing it now. He's going to do the chicane, and then we're going to make contact, and that's Wallaby. Wallaby gets turned and turns right back into Allen. Now they're going to be drag racing down the start-finish line straight. Man, those Ferrari engines are really, really well set up for Spa. Ooh, wing to tire contact. But yep, Allen now up into the 11th position.
It seems like Ollie's trying to get these wet weather conditions because now he's gaining a lot of time on Anderson.
Yeah, that was a 6-second gap, and now it looks more like it's about a 1.5 second gap between these two.
Oh, you got Starfish and Deadger. Oh, Starfish just made a mistake. Deadger's just flown through.
These two have kind of broken away from the Allen and Wallaby battle. And Allen and Wallaby, they're not giving up either. Wallaby's got the inside of CJ. CJ's going to make the crossover stick, though. Neck and neck. They're going to be side by side. Oh, be careful. And there it goes. Wallaby. The car twitched out on him. He snacked the outside wall. He's now missing part of that front wing, and he will plummet through the order. He's going to have to pit to change that.
That is so unfortunate there for Wallaby, because Wallaby's doing a really good race there with CJ Allen.
That car just seemed to be gradually gaining away from him a little bit more and more over the last 2 laps as those tires were burning up. That's the thing, these tires, these intermediate tires, they have about 9 laps on them now. They're going to start definitely feeling a little bit of wear at the moment.
I reckon you'll start seeing them starting to pit around about the lap 12 mark. Probably lap 12 into 13, you'll see him start pitting.
Yeah, I have to wonder maybe why Ollie has been able to run down Anderson. It's not that it looks like Anderson is slowing because Ollie's not really changed his pace very much, and neither has Beard Boost. It's just Ollie has suddenly picked up a whole lot of speed relative to Anderson. I think Anderson's losing the car's handling as the tires are going away. He's basically there. It's no longer chasing. He's stalking that second McLaren right now.
You can see that Ollie's going into the wetter area just to gain some more traction because I think the racing line starts to dry up too much.
A little bit farther back for the 10th and 9th position, Elephant Starfish and Deadger are having a little bit of a battle themselves going down that straight. Starfish going to dive to the inside of Deadger, neck and neck.
Oh, I thought he's got contact then. I thought we had it then.
Yeah, it looked like he got contact, but Starfish pulled out of there wisely to avoid keep anything from happening. That'll definitely be a battle to watch as this continues on. The other one to watch, obviously, is going to be Ollie and Anderson. And now, actually, Ollie is technically running Beard Boost down a little bit. That was a 12-second gap. Now it's about 10.5 between first and third.
I wonder, like you say, they're starting to struggle with these intermediate tyres.
Starfish still right there behind Dedgar. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Calzone so far seems to be doing really well in X2 so far. He's posting out really good lap times. He's very quick in that Haas car.
Both of the Haas machines are being very well represented with Joe Pelli running in 5th and Calzoner in the 7th spot. So, good day, I would say.
Oh, Ledger and Fiend. Ledger's just got contact on the tyre wall, trying to get onto Fiend's back end.
There's another battle. Elf and Starfish and Dedgar are at it once more. Dedgar back ahead of Starfish for the moment on the run down the start-finish line straight. Starfish right there. Ooh! Slides out the rear end just a bit. That's going to hurt his ability down the straight. Now here come what seems to be two of the best engines in the grid right now. And Alan is rejoined. Starfish trying. He's there. Boy, is he there. He's right underneath Dedgar's rear wing right now. He's got the momentum.
He's got the traction there at that corner. He's coming down now straight. On Canal Straight. It's coming down now. He's got the inside.
Oh, he gets in the dirt. He's around.
Oh, no way. That is unfortunate there for Starfish. Starfish, watch out.
And here comes sneaking Alan. Ooh. Alan had just enough time to react and drive away. Starfish had the ability. He made it stick throughout all of the faster straights, but as they started putting the power down, the rear end just went off on him, and the car slid off into the wall.
You can see
don't see any damage.
I'm going to say, you see Starfish, Starfish there, still got a bit of dirt on because Lowe's trying to get past him.
I don't see any damage to the rear wing at least, so assuming the tires aren't in too bad condition, he'll be in a decent position overall. Of note, Flying Wallaby is the first driver to make what looks to be, what I guess would be scheduled pit stops. So everyone else still on the tires they either started with or had to swap to after taking damage. So
Ollie's now just over half a second closer to Anderson.
Yeah, it looks like Ollie's forward momentum has stalled out behind Anderson. He ran down Anderson once Anderson started losing pace, but he doesn't seem to be in a position to really make an outright overtake. He gets within about a quarter of a second. Oh, he might be able to do it now.
He's got him. He's definitely got him on the inside there. Can he respond back on the inside of this corner here? Oh, no.
I'm sure he'll take that. It's a little bit of clean air.
I'm going to say I think Anderson's looking forward to getting to the pits.
And they might be doing it this lap as well. I imagine we'll start seeing drivers pitting this lap at least.
I think it'd be a good idea if Beer Boost and Anderson go in this lap because Beer Boost has got quite a pace in front of him. That's quite a good time in front of him for him to do a two-stopper for both McLarens.
Yep, Starfish has gone ahead and made his stop now. Anderson slowly dropping off the back of Ollie. And actually, Sasha Andre has actually very gradually been catching up to that battle for second. So he's now about 4 1/4 out. Most of the battles on the track have evaporated for the moment. Everyone's just getting ready and set to make their next stops.
Flying Wallabies just overtook Zola.
And now comes the question of Beard Boost. No, Beard Boost is staying out another lap. Oh, and that's Starfish. Starfish has turned himself around and has damaged that front wing very significantly there out of the 16th position. He's back underway, but there's significant front wing damage on that car. boy, is there significant front wing damage. He can't even come close to keeping it on the track right now. He's grinding against the outside wall. He cannot even come close to keeping it on the track. Actually, a little bit of bouncing. The car bouncing off the ground in some of the more uneven sections. 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. It honestly looks like that car barely has any control. That's one of those cases where I honestly kind of hope that penalty doesn't stick, because he definitely wasn't gaining time out there. He was losing time. Uter and Calzone are making their stops.
They're the first two stops.
Sorry, not Calzone. Not Calzone, sorry. Uter and Fiend. Ledger also will make his stops.
Ledger's in the pits, so is Fiend. Ollie's making some really good time up on Anderson. He could get quite close to beer boost if he carries on like this.
Yeah, my interval thing keeps blanking out. Like every time someone pits, it resets it all. So I'm not having a very good idea as to where everyone is and isn't.
I've got the same as well,
but there is a side-by-side battle between the Red Bull and one of the racing points. That's Flying Wallaby, who has overtaken Fiend going down the straight. So move Flying Wallaby back up into the 15th spot for now.
But both Red Bulls in 16th and 17th. This ain't good for Red Bull.
Ollie is in the pits, as is Anderson. Beard Boost is staying out another lap, though. Beard Boost actually needs to be a little bit careful getting by, looks like Starfish there. So move Joe Pelli now up into the 2nd position. And this means Sasha Andre is now pitting as well, as is Hutch. Calzone has already made his stop, but he's way off this, so I don't think he's going to directly influence the battle for position in the top 5.
I think CJ Allen's
and Ollie,
Ollie
has a penalty still, so yeah, the thing with Ollie is he needs to try and outrun Anderson right now. And I think he just got another penalty, actually. 1 second.
He did. 3-second penalty.
Yep, 6-second penalty. 6 seconds worth of penalty for Ollie now, so he really needs to try and outrun Anderson.
Joe Pelli now, 32nd so far.
Joffrey and Pingu jumping into the pits. I believe that's Zola as well, who has gone ahead and jumped into the pit lane. Hutch, 3-second time penalty for multiple track violations. So it seems, yeah, everyone who has penalties in the top 7 have multiple penalties, so that can really, really upset the way this race goes as we get down to it.
I could see some
Wallaby and Fiend are back at it.
I could see some happening with Starfish and Beer Boost if Starfish took back off a bit. Oh, nearly touched him then. Beer Boost is in the pit.
Sorry, Wallaby and Fiend, though, did have a little bit of a battle. Now Wallaby is back ahead of Fiend for the moment. But these two seem to be going back and forth most of this race here.
Joe Pelli now is coming to the pit, so Ollie will regain 2nd place. So will Anderson regain 3rd.
And once again, most of the battles have kind of spread out. Now, CJ Allen is starting to run down Hutch, though. But Hutch has 6 seconds worth of penalty. CJ Allen has none. We are CJ Allen. He's really sliding the rear tires.
I was just going to say, you've got Fiend still trying to gain some time onto Flying Wallaby to gain his position back into 13th.
Allen's right there behind Hutch still. Hutch seemed to have a relatively good run through Brazilian and Al Rouge, but it's not going to matter. Allen has the draft. He's going to go for it, I believe. He's looking for it. He's shooting to the inside. Neck and neck.
Oh, Hodge's got some good traction now on that corner. Oh, still side by side. Can he stick it into his inside still? He's still got it. Is there any contact? No, he's still got it there. Hutch is just still on his right hand side. Back on the inside, Hutch. They're still side by side.
They're still side by side.
This is an absolute cracking battle.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Hutch!
Oh.
Allen just came right down on Hutch and spun him right off the circuit. Don't reverse onto the track like that, please, Hutch. I mean, at least no one was coming up, but that gave me a little bit of heart stop seeing him just reverse onto the track like that.
He could have sorted his sent out on that massive patch of tarmac. There's plenty of room there. That's unfortunate.
They were side by side for half a lap there before finally the contact happened. It happened at the worst part, and Hutch just went right around. Also, of note, Ollie, fastest lap 155.080 in the Scuderia Ferrari.
Oh, Sasha.
He is now 8 1/4 off from Beard Boost.
Sasha's just posted a 154.8.
But of note, Ollie and Sasha and Andre both have 6 seconds worth of time penalties. So right now, Anderson is still going to end up in the 2nd position at race in, unless Ollie can really run down Beard Boost and really open the gap relative to Anderson. I think it's very likely that unless something happens to Beard Boost is going to win simply because the only driver who has a chance of writing him down has such a massive time penalty against him.
I'm quite surprised when Vinny's got a penalties.
Yeah. And Dedger is saying he has left the session now. He's in the 11th position. Hopefully he gets back in it sooner rather than later. But right now, most of the battles on the track have kind of evaporated. Every time I say that, a battle starts forming again. So I'm saying it again, hoping the same thing happens. A little bit of a separation has formed, though, between 8th and 9th position. The top 8 drivers have not been involved in an incident thus far in the race, so that's what they have on pure pace. Everyone 9th on back has been caught up in some sort of accident, some sort of incident, and are kind of in a race of their own. We've only had 1 virtual safety car, no full course yellows, and also of note, we have had no DNFs in this event. So I know it's a little early to say that, but the fact that we've made it roughly 2/3 of the way through this race without DNFs, I just want to give thumbs up to everyone.
Insane.
Even if all of a sudden...
Insane, what you doing?
I'm just saying... No! No!
What are you doing?
No! I didn't mean to! No! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! No!
Starting to come on Rouge. He's lost it on Rouge.
Oh! I'm not...
Yeah, you're right, Kenzie. Someone else fixed it.
Oh!
Well, what do you say to that?
Alright, so I'm going to be very honest. I really do not believe in jinxes. I really don't. So because of that, I'm very liberal and free with my words and terms and stuff. So, I swear, like, I am not putting a hex on these guys. I do not believe in that stuff. Even if I did believe that, I don't need to do that kind of stuff for entertainment value. Just, I did not do it. I did not do it. Okay? I swear.
Well, on that note. Well,
Calzone now has 3 seconds.
I'm going to say I'm quite surprised. I'm quite surprised that they didn't get a VSC or even a safety car with him being crashed out on Rouge. He's left again. Sasha's starting to gain on Anderson.
Yeah, the gap between them is about 1.2 seconds. But of note, though, Sasha still has 6 seconds worth of time penalties relative to Anderson. So I'm going to be honest with that, coupled with the fact that Ollie, although here's the thing, I think Beard Boost is just kind of turning the wick down. He's not pushing as hard at the moment because everyone seems to be closing in on kind of a consistent rate. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be a Beard Boost Anderson 1-2 simply because there's nothing that, I don't think there's anything Ollie or Sasha can do to outrun their penalties.
No. Oh, pardon me, I'm so sorry. We've got yellows in on the chicanes.
I think someone may have just... Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, because no one jumped into the pits, but... Lowe was already in the pits before it happened, so yeah, I'm not really 100% sure what went on there.
There's no wing damage on Ledger either, so like you say, I couldn't see what the issue were. It looks like Ledger though is gaining on Degger.
And both of those drivers each have matching time penalties, so this will be a fight for outright position if Ledger can catch Dedger, and not only a fight for position, a fight for the final point-paying position in the race.
I think in the next 2 laps you're going to see Sasha and Anderson fighting it out for third.
Ollie is now less than 7 seconds off the back of Beard Boost. Again, that gap will still almost double post-race, but still, Ollie definitely has some significant pace, and he is pushing very hard to try and open up the gap between himself and Anderson. It's just not working. Anderson is still sticking within 3 seconds of Ollie. And that's with Andre also picking up the pace as well. So, like, first is definitely turned down the wick. Second is really flying. Third is turned down the wick, but he's still flying. And fourth, Sasha is really, really fast. I think Sasha is probably the fastest of our top 4 drivers right now.
Oh, you got a battle now between Degger and Ledger.
Yep, Ledger shoots up to the inside. Oh, and it happened right as Dedger going back onto the track as well. I'm sure Dedger's not going to be happy with the AI for losing a position like that.
I'm sure Dedger will try and get his control back and gain his position back.
Also of note, Dedger is in position. Ooh. Wait, Sasha. Oh, so 9-second penalty now for Sasha. That means that Joe Pelli might actually end up ahead of Sasha by the end of the race. Also of note, Dedger has a 3-second time penalty, and Lowe is just close enough he might be able to capitalize on that. Dedger! Oh no, and Wallaby! Wallaby has destroyed the car, and that's a virtual safety flag. I mean, virtual safety car.
Sure,
Dedger and Wallaby both have destroyed cars there, coming up the hill, and a virtual safety car falls with less than 4 laps to go.
Wow, I'm surely with Dedger there and Wallaby there on the left side, they bring out an actual safety car for that. Surely.
It's virtual, so I'm trying to see who it was that Wallaby ran over the back of. I thought it was one of the Red Bulls.
It was Fiend, wasn't it? It was Fiend.
Yeah, I think it's Fiend. All right, we're back underway already. What does DT stand for?
DT? Where's DT?
By Calzona and CJ Allen's name. Do they have drive-through penalties?
It is, yes.
Well, Calzoner's serving his now. CJ Allen has not yet.
I think CJ Allen will do it on the next laps at least, and he might still gain his position, keep his position.
Wow. That got really chaotic really fast there.
Sure did. When we had no DNFs, we have now got 3.
And Andre is right there behind Anderson, but again, with 9 seconds worth of penalty, he's not really trying to chase Anderson, he's just trying to keep a large enough gap between himself and Joe Pelli so he doesn't end up losing that 4th place. And Smoothie has a drive-through penalty as well that he has to serve, apparently. Now Ollie has another 3-second time penalty. So now Ollie has another time penalty. So now it's 9 seconds off. So yeah, Anderson is basically going to walk into second by default of just not having any track violations.
We've got King Jeffrey now, who's exiting the pits, and we've got Pengu right up him.
Trying to make something happen.
King Joffrey's got some fresh tyres on. Oh, he's gone on the inside, has he?
No. He looked to the inside, but he just wasn't close enough to turn that into an actual move.
Sash is 8/10 of a second.
Blind Wallaby, it says he's left the session again. Now, granted, he's already dropped out, so I probably won't bother coming back in, but still. CJ Allen still has that drive-through penalty. He still hasn't taken it. Smoothie! And Smoothie has dropped out of the event.
Is that another crash on Rouge?
Yeah, that's another crash on Al Rouge.
Jeez.
Wow, all of a sudden everything... Well, now I know that I wasn't the one who ruined Starfish's day because I've not said anything else since, and we've had 3 other incidents. So I could definitely say it wasn't me. Of note...
We won't blame you.
Yeah. Of note, we still have 3 drivers, only 3 drivers who don't have penalties. That's Joe Pelly, Anderson, and Beard Boost. So all 3 of those absolutely putting on masterful drives by just keeping it legal. And you'd think the standards would be a little bit higher, but considering how wet and slick the tracks are, how worn these tires have gotten, that's basically all it seems to be taking to have a good day, is just don't go outside the lines.
The weather does not help at all. It does affect even X1 to X3 drivers. All of us. It affects us all. Sebastian now gaining more ground on him. He's 3/10 behind.
Again, Sasha doesn't need to push too hard to overtake Anderson. He just needs to stay ahead of Joe. But yeah, he's definitely trying. He wants to make a point.
Deger's left again. Deger's had a really bad night tonight. He's been back and forth all night, in and out on these sessions. Sorry, I started yawning there. Jesus.
Well, it is the final lap now, though. Beard Boost is actually on route to catch Zola and potentially put Zola a lap down before the race ends.
I was just going to say, Sash has got some good traction now coming off Rouge Hill. Flying down the Kellel straight. Look on the inside of Anderson. Anderson's just giving him it. He knows for a fact the penalties is going to serve him well for position and back in 3rd place. Like you say, it's the last lap. You might as well just sit behind him now and just get it back from the penalties.
Yep. This also means pretty much by default, Andre will hold on to the 4th position because he has about 10.5 seconds over Joe Pelly. The penalties that Sasha Andre has right now is only 9 seconds worth.
We've also
it says
got
Beard Boost has left the session.
Oh no.
Well, good thing he has 6.5 seconds over Ollie at least. And it's in the last half of the lap, so...
Legend now is traction on Hutch. Hopefully he can get that ERS open and overtake him. No, he's not got the gap too much. Oh, what's that? That's an Alfa Romeo, isn't it? Who's that? That's CJ Allen.
That's CJ Allen. Oh, and Allen, one of the drivers who've been having a decent-ish, although rough day. It goes pure rough at the very end, but coming out of the final corner, here comes Beard Boost, your race winner again. And here comes XRL Ollie. He's coming down, he'll cross the line in 2nd. Sasha Andre will cross the line 3rd, but the real 2nd place finisher will be XRL Anderson.
Well done to the McLarens. Well done to McLaren to the top, the 1st and 2nd.
And now here comes Joe Pelly across the line. He'll come home 5th.
Ledger's fighting Hutch now, coming up to the last couple of corners.
He made contact, he hit him, and knocked out part of his front wing in the process. Now again, Ledger just needs to stay behind Hutch, because Ledger only has 3 seconds of penalty, Hutch has 6. He needs to just stay behind Hutch. These are 4 points paying positions as well.
Hopefully Low might not come into this. Low might get him on the chicanes if he can get some traction from turn 18 into 19. No, he's not. It's fine. Oh, he's gone wide.
He went wide. He's still close enough.
Low's answering.
Here comes Low. They're going to be neck and neck. Here it comes down the line. Oh. Low did not get Ledger, but they both got Hutch by virtue of Hutch having so many penalties. Fiend's going to come across the line now. He'll cross 11th.
Look at the time between Low and Ledger.
Fiend's going to be 11th. And now Joffrey is coming around now. Will Joffrey be close enough to actually pick up a position over Fiend by virtue of having fewer penalties? No, he will not. No. And then Pingu, Pingu nearly loops it, putting the power down out of the final corner. But he will cross the line 13th. And here comes CJ Allen, one of the other drivers who his front wing is completely destroyed.
He can get 10 seconds for that.
5-second penalty for corner cutting. But again, he's so far ahead of Zola, I don't think that's going to matter any. Alex, I think he's so far ahead of Zola, it won't matter any. Yeah. So that's race over, and once again, Beard Boost, absolutely outstanding run there.
Absolutely brilliant there for the McLaren team. Absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, McLaren really had all their ducks in a row and really kept the put the organization in the organized chaos here. And then his teammate XRL.
It did help him. It did help him in the session today.
Mm-hmm. Had to be a little bit heart-stopping there when it said he disconnected in the last half of the last lap. But yeah, more than enough of a gap that the AI couldn't have taken it from him at least.
I would have been panicking like crazy.
Panico! But anyways, here in the lobby we have our race winner, Beard Boost. Beard Boost, go ahead and include your audio. Another victory, and what a victory it was!
Well done, Beard. Well done.
Thank you very much. Can we invite Matt in here too?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get Anderson in real quickly.
Because I think he's the star of the show tonight.
I'm going to say you two have done really well coming up into first and second, and like you say, Anderson's poured out an absolute amazing performance to come into second place to be on the podium with you.
That's it. It's all about the team.
Correct.
We're out to beat Path now and Philip Nielsen for the constructors race at the end of the season.
And what's that done for McLaren now in the constructors? Does that put you up further, or are you still in the same position?
Still in the same position.
There you are. And here's your second place finisher, XRL Anderson. Anderson, go ahead and include your audio. McLaren 1-2. Absolutely incredible job by both of you today.
Well done, Anderson, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Wasn't expecting that at all. Not quite sure it happened, but it did.
Absolutely cracking race for you, Anderson. You've pulled back a really good times and good laps for you to gain second place and to join your teammate on the podium.
Yeah, it was. I had a really good first lap. I managed to dart around a lot of the accidents and stuff that were happening. Gained a lot of positions there. I had a lot of rear wing on today, which really helped in the wet. But anytime I was in a kind of race against another car on a straight, I was lacking a bit. But yeah, I got in front of people and it's paid off.
Absolutely fantastic, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, well, McLaren 1-2. Also, I just want to say, Beard Boost, if you keep this up, Herbie and I were talking, more than likely, if you can do the same thing you did today, next week at Monza, there's a high likelihood you'll have the championship, the Drivers' Championship, wrapped up at that point.
Good to hear. But, I wouldn't like to win it at Italy, though. It's not my favourite track.
It's not a nice one to have, is it?
No. I'd like to do it at Singapore. That's good.
Would you class that as your favourite track then for all of F1, or what would you say your favourite track is in F1 2020?
Well, that's tough. Brazil. Go Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of Brazil.
hopefully we'll see you both McLarens again then in Brazil to gain first and second, hopefully.
That's it. Go.
All right. Well, there's a word from our first and second place drivers. Amazing job by both McLarens all the way through. So now, post-race, real quickly, Herbie, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from this race going forward?
In what way would you say?
In any way, just...
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Honestly, I really couldn't tell you.
Well, I'll say this. I think the biggest element here was just staying connected, honestly. We saw a lot of drivers end up losing time and losing positions due to just having connectivity issues, getting kicked from the cars, and the AI. The AI is not incompetent, but when the AI takes over, they're just horrendously slow compared to a driver pace. So just having a good connection really helped a lot of people here. And the other thing I think you can obviously take away is this, that both McLaren drivers seem to have everything brought together perfectly. I really don't think anything can touch McLaren here in X2 in this series.
Actually, when you're saying that, let's ask Beer Boost for a minute. What was you feeling when you disconnected just before last lap?
I asked Matt what the rules were. if I crossed the line in AI or not.
I'm gonna say, did you start bum twitching? Did it start getting a bit nervous?
No, we both knew we had the 1-2 if we were to keep it clean, because Ollie and who was the other one, Matt, behind you?
Who was behind?
Sasha, they were both on 6 seconds, so
9.
I had zero warnings. I think Matt had similar.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I know if it were me, I'd be crying at the TV wanting to get me back on.
If it was a closer race, then I'd have been pretty bum twitchy.
Well, cheers for that anyway.
Yeah, once again, congratulations, you two. So in a week's time, XRL will be going to Monza. Well, I like that circuit a lot. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites on the F1 calendar. Don't know if I'll be able to do X2, but I definitely will be here for X3 for covering that. So once again, though, Herbie, thank you very much for being able to jump in the broadcast booth with me. I really do enjoy being able to share the booth with you. So
it's nice to do it with you, mate. You learn some new tips and that from obviously with you commentating, because you're very good at it. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Well, all pleasures, though, must come to an end. I'm going to go back to social distancing and staying on this side of the Atlantic from you guys. I've been Insanely R13 here, and I've been joined by XRL Herbie. We've been broadcasting on the Extreme League's Twitch channel for Extreme Racing League, XRL. In a week's time, the series will be heading to Monza. On this channel, and X1 will be covered by more than likely Sasha Andre at Monza. I'll be covering X3 on the other channel, and then X2, more than likely either Herbie or I or both of us will be there for that.
It will be me.
Look forward to seeing you all there. Until next time, farewell.
See you later.